Couple updates. First of all, I am back from Hawaii. We had the best time, but I got COVID.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I'm a part-time reseller on a variety of different reselling platforms. In the summertime, I can usually kick it up a little bit just because my full-time job is as a high school choir teacher, and since I don't do any of my school-related activities during the summer, usually I'm able to dedicate a lot more time to my reselling business in the summer. But because I've just been so antsy to get out and do things, I scheduled so many trips for this summer. The first one being Hawaii. We just got back from 2 weeks in paradise. It was lovely. Maybe I'll put some videos or pictures at the very end of this video, but unfortunately I think on the way back, maybe on the plane, despite the fact that we were fully masked the entire time that we were on the plane, even in the airport, I ended up getting COVID. So far, and we're 4 or 5 days in from the trip, so far I'm the only one in my family that has tested positive, and so I've literally been camping out in this room by myself, in this room, and then the master bedroom, so I just sleep there by myself. My husband has been sleeping with my son, and I just kind of go back and forth between those two rooms. So it's really sad. I miss hanging out with my family in person. We've been FaceTiming, which is kind of ridiculous, but I'm just hoping that they don't get it. Right now, I'm kind of wondering if I'm even going to be able to get through this video because I do have a lot of congestion in my chest. I have asthma, and so I know even people without asthma, it just gets really tight here, and even more so for someone like me. So I am on steroids, and I have been, taking Tylenol and whatnot. So we're going to see what happens. But you didn't come here for my COVID update. You came here to see what sold for me, and we're still behind, but literally my goal while in quarantine is to get caught up on my what sold videos. So in today's video, we are talking about May 16th through May 22nd. I will say that I had a string, just a few weeks of really bad sales, and that had stemmed from the fact that I was really busy at school with my musical and just end of the year stuff. And so this week, I remember I tried a couple different things. One was I ran a sale on Poshmark, and that actually turned out to be pretty successful, and you'll see that day when it comes up. And then the second thing that I did, and actually the thing that I did was a few weeks prior or a couple weeks prior, but I got my check this week in the mail, I believe. The second thing that I tried that was new was consigning at a pop-up consignment sale. Now, I did not consign my best stuff with them. It wasn't really very good stuff, but I, sold a lot of things and made some money. And if you want to learn more about my consigning experience, I do have a video about that. I will link it here as well as down in the description below. So let's start by talking about my sales from Monday, which was May 16th. The first thing that sold for me was this pair of Skechers. They were these Blue Delights. That's the style name. And they were in the sparkling rain colorway, and they were just very splashy sneakers in a size 8. These sold for $27. I got them for $4.99 at a local thrift store, and I made a profit on those. Once you factor in my cost of goods and Poshmark's fees, I made a profit of $16.61, which I'm pretty happy with. I feel like a lot of Skechers can actually sell for $25 or more. This is definitely a brand that I slept on for a while just because I personally am not into Skechers. It's not, a shoe brand that I wear, but I have been learning as I've been, watching other people's videos and stuff that Skechers can do really, really well. You just have to pick up the right styles. The next thing that sold was a much better shoe sale. It was over on Facebook Marketplace of all places, and it was this pair of e.l.f. handmade coral leather pointed scallop edge slingback flats in a women's size 9.5. These were gorgeous. I was at a local consignment store. They were doing some color tag sale, and these shoes happened to be on the rack. I didn't know anything about this brand, but I took the time to look up comps, and they were really good. There weren't that many listed, and so the sell-through rate was pretty good, and I just knew when I touched them that they were very high quality. They were like buttery soft leather, and it's literally called, the brand is called Elf Handmade. I don't think that every single pair of shoes is handmade, but they're just beautiful shoes. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're made in Spain, which is another good indication of quality. So these sold on Facebook Marketplace, I believe, for my full asking price of $50. And for whatever reason, I did not get any fees taken out of my Facebook Marketplace transaction. I feel like they do that sometimes. Like every once in a while, they'll, do free shipping or no selling fees. I wasn't going to complain. I wasn't going to be like, hey, I think you guys forgot to take money from me. I let it go. So I had $16.49 into those shoes. I definitely paid up, but I feel like I did pretty well because I made a profit of $33.51. So I'm very, very happy that they sold on Facebook Marketplace on a day when, for whatever reason, there were no selling fees. And even if there were, they would have been really low. I'm really glad they sold there because obviously if Poshmark had taken 20%, I'd be left with a lot less. But that was a good sale. Facebook Marketplace came through, and typically they do not. Typically they are in a deep slumber, like snoring, just is not cute. The next day of sales that we'll talk about is Tuesday, which is May 17th. On eBay, I sold this Hugo Buscati. I had never heard of this brand before, but looked it up and comps were okay. It was this Hugo Buscati collection, orange 100% silk sleeveless sheath dress. This I purchased from a local reseller because she was done reselling for the time being. She just wanted to spend more time with family and whatnot. And so my cost of goods per item was only $1.02. This sold for $25 on eBay. It was promoted at 3%. And so once you factor in eBay's fees, including that, promoted 3% fee, and my cost of goods, I made a profit on this dress of $19.70. And I'm glad. Like, I remember when I first saw this, I was like, I don't even know if this is worth listing. But it was silk, comps were decent. I tried it out and I made basically $20. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari, and it was this pair of Crocs Pink Mary Jane slip-on flats. They were waterproof in a size U13. They did have, if I remember correctly, like paint splattered on the side of them. I had actually gotten these from a friend at church. I think her daughter had worn them, and she just gave me a bunch of stuff for my kids and for me to resell if I didn't, if my kids weren't going to wear them. My daughter wasn't going to wear these, so I listed them. They sold for $15, and I made a profit of $12.76. These kinds of Crocs, especially the kids ones, they may not make you a ton of money, but they will sell, and they will most likely sell quickly. Because if you think about how quickly kids' feet grow and how much Crocs are, I know they're not as much as like little Gucci shoes for kids or something, but they're expensive, especially considering that kids are only going to wear them one season most likely. And so I feel like parents are always looking to pick these up secondhand if they can because they don't want to pay retail for them. And I don't blame them. So if you have Crocs lying around or if you find some for real cheap, like at the bins or something, they are going to flip fast. Just maybe not for a ton because people are looking for a deal, The next day of sales that we'll talk about is May 18th, which is a Wednesday. This was a decent Poshmark day. So the first thing to sell was this pair of Johnny Was Workshop purple plaid cargo leather trim capri pants in a size 6. So, Johnny Was has a lot of different logos on their tags. Sometimes it says Johnny Was, sometimes it says Workshop, and they're just kind of different iterations of the brand. These, I believe, said Workshop on them, but I looked them up. They were indeed Johnny Was Workshop, and I say that because I also have seen tags that say made by Johnny, and I get really excited because I'm like, oh, this is Johnny Was, and it's not. Like, the quality is not even close to the same, but I feel like people are out there trying to capitalize on Johnny Was, and they're trying to, do different things. But if you see something that says Workshop and the tag looks like this, that means it's Johnny Was. However, there's also a Workshop that has no association with Johnny Was, and that tag looks like this, so make sure that you know your tags before you go out and pick up, the wrong Workshop thinking that you got a lot of money on your hands. These actually came to me in a wholesale pallet that I purchased off of a fellow reseller, so I had $3.92 into them. I believe I had them listed for like $50, but I let them go for $42. I don't remember if, that must be the offer that came into me because I don't have discounted shipping attached to these. So she got them for $42. I made a profit once you factor in my cost of goods and Poshmark's fees of $29.68. I do not find a lot of Johnny Was, and these didn't necessarily strike me me as Johnny was when I first saw them, but I wasn't gonna complain. I wasn't gonna question it. It says workshop on there. I know that label. It's Johnny Was, and I'm gonna sell it for a good amount. The next thing to sell was this pair of Gap blue floral shorts in a youth size 8. They did have some wear on the butt. Like, I feel like the previous owner just sat on the carpet with these and just like scooshed her butt forward. I don't understand the wear on these. These, again, were donated to us from someone at church, and my daughter just went through this weird phase where she would not wear shorts. She's really into them now, but she's outgrown these already, and so she never really wore them. She went ahead and took pictures of them for me. I listed them, and they sold for $9. So I made a profit of $6.05, which goes to her to just, I don't know, do what she wants with it. She's kind of over Roblox now. I feel like she's more into Minecraft, and so I don't know if you need money on Minecraft to get stuff the way that you do Roblox, but yeah, she's been spending her money on random things here and there, and also donating to different charities for Ukraine. You guys, I don't know if we're gonna get through this because I keep coughing and my throat, my chest, I don't know, all this stuff. We'll see. We're gonna keep barreling through. So the next thing that sold was this pair of Crocs, another pair of Crocs. I believe the style name of these was Sarah, and they're the buckle high heel mules. They were slip-on clogs in a size 5, it looks like. So my size, they just really weren't my style. These sold for $25 with discounted shipping because I believe that was a Posher VA sale, which means a Chrome extension called Posher VA sent out offers to likers on this item for me. I didn't have to sit there and do anything. I just program it to send out the offer for me 5 minutes after, the item gets a like. And it also shares my Poshmark closet, which is amazing. So it does a lot of the tasks that typically I would have to sit behind the computer and do, but now I don't have to sit there and do it anymore. So it's a lovely addition to my reselling arsenal. And if you want to try it out yourself, I do have a coupon code down in the description below, and you can save 20% off of your first payment using my coupon code, which is just Becky Park. But because of Posher VA, I made this sale. I made a profit of $13.29. And those I believe I just picked up at a local thrift store. Most adult Crocs, if they're $5 or less, I will pick them up. The next thing to sell was this pair of Adidas black 3-stripe mesh sneakers in a youth size 3. Lots of like kid stuff selling up to this point, as you can see. So those sold for $17. That was an offer that I got. And so I made a profit of $11.88 because, again, that was something that someone donated to me. And it was listed for quite some time. Not a quick flip at all, but they sold, and that's all that matters. The next thing that sold was over on Mercari, and it was this men's pair of Levi's 511 cutoff denim shorts. They were distressed, and they were in a size 34. I was trying to figure out if these were like, a cutoff that someone made, like they took a pair of 511s and just cut them off themselves. But I think that these were actually made this way by Levi's, because typically on Levi's, it'll say the waist and the inseam measurement on their tag, and this one just had a waist because, there's not there's still an inseam, because they're shorts, but they didn't feel the need to put the inseam because they weren't regular length jeans. So I don't know. I didn't know that this was a style that Levi's made, but these actually got a pretty good amount of attention, and they sold on Mercari after just a few days of being listed for $20. I had $1.02 into them because, again, I got them from the local reseller buyout, so I made a profit of $16.10. And then I had another Facebook Marketplace sale, I believe last summer, at a garage sale. I got this head racquetball Comp G XL extra long pyramid racket with case. I don't know what the majority of that means, but it's a racquetball case, that I know. And I picked it up for $3 at a garage sale, and it sold for $20. This day, it's so weird because it was only 2 days later, I did get the selling fee deducted from my profit, but I didn't 2 days earlier. So I don't know if it's because they weren't I don't know. I don't know what the rhyme or reason to that is. But Facebook Marketplace did take $1.50 from my profit as their selling fee. And if you also subtract my $3 cost of goods, I made a profit on that racket of $15.50. And that $20 price is exactly where comps were when I picked it up. It was like $20 to $25. But I did have to sit on it for literally a year. I know a lot of you on here watch my channel because you also sell clothing. And I know some of you also sell hard goods, and maybe you're here to learn more about clothing. I don't get hard goods. I genuinely do not enjoy it. I keep trying to dabble with it here and there, but man, it is just not my thing. There's just so much to learn about it. So I don't know. If you do sell hard goods, leave me some comments down in the description below of just your best tips, or maybe your favorite YouTubers to watch when it comes to hard goods. I just struggle. I really do. The next day that we'll talk about is Thursday, which was May 19th. On Poshmark, I sold this Chico's asymmetric high-low leopard print midi skirt in a Chico size 2. This sold for $19. I had $1.50 into it because I got it as part of a reseller buyout when I bought my friend's inventory before she moved. However, I sent this woman the wrong skirt. I sent her a different Chico skirt, and it was not in the same size or anything. It was also a maxi skirt, but it was not the right skirt. So she reached out and let me know. Actually, what happened is she accepted the package. I don't remember if she gave me a rating. I think she did. I think she gave me 5 stars. And then a couple days after that, she changed her rating, and she was like, yes, it's my fault that I left a rating on this and accepted it before I actually inspected the package, but no, this is not what I ordered. It's not my size. And I felt terrible. So even though technically I didn't have to do anything because she had accepted the package and given me a rating, I reached back out to her and I let her know that I would send her the correct skirt and that she could just keep the other one. She could resell it or, donate it, whatever she wanted to do. And I just paid for postage myself because, I'm not going to make her pay for shipping again. So I got her the right skirt. So really I have to also deduct $1 because that was my cost of goods for the other skirt. And then I actually should have also included shipping to get that skirt out to her. I didn't think of that. So also you can deduct like a handful more dollars for me to ship the second skirt out to her. I'm saying that my actual profit on this transaction was $12.80. It was probably more like $8 or $9 once you factor in shipping. So sometimes we make mistakes as resellers. It is a given. It's gonna happen. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And for me, I just try to do whatever I can to do right by my buyer because, they spent their hard-earned money with me and I want them to have a good experience so that hopefully they come back. And that's my hope for this woman is that she will come back and visit my Poshmark closet and that I didn't leave a bad taste in her mouth when it comes to Poshmark as a reselling platform. So not amazing, but moving on to eBay, I sold this pair of American Eagle red athletic pull-on shorts. They had zippered pockets. They were in a men's extra small. I got them, I believe, in a men's thredUP rescue box, and so my average cost of goods for that box was $3. They sold for $14.90. That was the offer that I sent out to watchers, so I made a profit of $10.46. Those actually got a decent amount of action, like a decent number of likes and watchers and all that kind of stuff. I made $10 on them. And then on Mercari, I sold this Gap black and white striped mock neck sleeveless tunic shirt in a size medium for women. This was very basic, but very chic, very great piece to have if you have like a capsule wardrobe. And it actually sold within 2 days of being listed. I got that for free from someone to resell, and so it sold for $12 and I made a profit of $10.15. Gap just makes great closet staple pieces. Everyone needs a classic white shirt or a classic denim jacket, classic pair of jeans. Gap has you covered. And they have a lot of other cute stuff too. They come out with a lot of cute prints and stuff like that. But when it comes to the staples like this piece, Gap is where it's at. This is not sponsored by Gap, by the way. They do not know who I am. On Friday, I tried to do something to spark some sales. I went into the newish Poshmark feature where you can send out offers in bulk or you can send messages to people in bulk. And I actually did that, I want to say later in the day on Friday. However, even before I did that, I made a good number of sales this day before I even sent out messages. I think that only helped bring about maybe a few more, both this day and the next. But it was just a good sales day. People were just in a shopping mood. Plus, I like to think I just kind of found favor within the Poshmark algorithm by sending out all these offers to watchers. And I really wanted to just sell as much stuff as I could before I went on my trip. And I feel like this was a smart thing to do and a smart way to get more sales. So the first thing that sold actually sold just on its own. It was not part of the sale. I think I woke up to this even, and it was this Eliza J floral pleated sleeveless belted dress in a size 6. This sold for $50. I had $3 into it. I picked this up at a local consignment store when they were doing like a clearance sale on certain color tags. And so I made a profit of $37 on that dress. I have been having so much great luck with Eliza J lately. You know, it was a brand that I was really excited about when I first started reselling, and then I kind of slowed down on picking it up because it wasn't doing as well, but I feel like it's made a comeback or something because I have been selling it really well. It doesn't typically sell super fast for me. Like, I do tend to sit on it for probably at least a couple months, but then it does eventually sell, and oftentimes like this, it sells for my full asking price of $50. So I don't know. If you've been sleeping on Eliza J, maybe consider picking it up if you can get it for cheap. The next thing to sell was this Chico's brown and white printed sleeveless maxi dress. This was in a Chico size 1, which is like a US medium. This sold for $29. I had $1 into it because I went to that same consignment store when they were doing $1 for a certain color tag. It was like a crazy, crazy clearance. I did ship out the correct dress this time, so I made a profit of $20.48 when all was said and done. The next sale was another full price sale. This was a great one. It was this Nolita New York or Nowhere blue hoodie. This piece was a collaboration between Nolita New York, which is a brand, and the NBA, specifically for the New York Knicks. Nolita New York is like a I love New York type brand. They celebrate New York and everything that it stands for. So it was a match made in heaven, this collaboration between Nolita and, the New York Knicks. On the hoodie, it said New York or Nowhere. This is like one of the slogans from this particular collaboration. Blue hoodie, and it was in a men's size 2X. I got this in a men's thredUP rescue box, and so my average cost of goods per item was $3.79. This item sold for my full asking price of $65. And so I made a profit of $48.21. I've had a lot of luck with all of the Nolita pieces that I got in that thredUP rescue box. I think I got like 3 or 4. One sold as a result of someone watching my video. Other things have sold really quickly. So I imagine I won't really find any of that stuff in the wild here. I mean, you never know. But I imagine if you're in New York, you might see this brand, even more specifically, this brand's collaboration with the NBA New York Knicks. And if that's the case, I highly recommend picking it up. I've sold their t-shirts well, long sleeve, short sleeve. This is the first hoodie that I've sold, and I don't know why I got so many of their pieces sent to me in that one thredUP rescue box, but I'm very glad that I did, not only because they're selling really well for me, but because as a result I've learned about a new brand that I need to be on the lookout for. And so obviously, of course, I am sharing that with you, and if you appreciate that, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, just so that YouTube knows to let other people know about this video as well. And if you're brand new to my channel, thank you so much for checking me out. I super duper appreciate it. And I do hope that you consider hitting that like button if you enjoy what sold videos like this, as well as thrift hauls, tips and tricks videos, all that kind of stuff. I got it for you here. The next thing that sold was this Polo Ralph Lauren Pima Soft Touch Teal Polo in a size medium. This sold for $25, which was my full asking price. A lot of full price sales. I had $8.17 into this because I picked it up at the same local consignment store where I had been picking up things for like $1 or $3. On this particular trip, however, my average cost of goods was $8.17 because I wasn't going on like a super clearance day. I was paying up for more items. I for sure did not pay anywhere near $8.17 for this particular item, but because I was going off of average cost of goods, that's what we're saying. Regardless, I still made a profit of $11.83. Polo Ralph Lauren just always does really well for me, and their Pima Soft Touch polos are just a really great piece to pick up because it's just really great quality. A lot of men really like Polo Ralph Lauren, and they know the Pima Soft Touch and, swear by it, will always wear it, will always pick it up. So if you find it for cheap enough, I don't know that I would always pay $8.17 for this, but if you find them for a good price, I would definitely consider picking it up. And Polo Ralph Lauren is one of the brands that I talked about in a very recent video about men's bread and butter brands and styles of men's clothing that sell for $25 or more. And you can see even just a short sleeve polo shirt selling for $25. That's why this brand is on my men's bread and butter brands list. The next thing to sell was the Soft Surroundings Purple Freeman Flare high-rise velvet pants in a size 10. 10. These sold for $24. I got them for $3 at that consignment store when they were having a color tag clearance sale, and so I made a profit of $13.52. I actually got 3 pairs of these same pants, same size, but all in different colors. Clearly someone had bought one of each color when she bought these and then donated them all at the same time, and I was happy to snatch them up from her. The next thing to sell, okay, I always say this wrong. People tell me how to say it correctly in the comments, and then I never remember. Joulet? Is that right? I want to say it's French, and I don't know how to speak French. Joulet? Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. But it is this blue striped pull-on elastic waist skirt in a women's size 14. This sold for $17, which is, I mean, I guess that's about what you can get. I felt like I could get a little bit more than that for the skirt, but I had it listed for a while, so when the offer came in, I was like, fine. I had $3 into it, so I made a profit of $7.92. Again, I got it from that consignment store. So the next few sales that I'm going to talk about are a result of me sending out offers using the bulk offer feature on Poshmark. The first sale that was a result of that was this loft striped lightweight cardigan in a size small. I believe a coworker gave this to me to resell, and I was not expecting it to move for very much. I have a hard time moving loft. It does not sell for very much for me because it's super saturated on reselling platforms. But this sold for $12 with discounted shipping, so I made a profit of $6.37. The next sale that came about as a result of me sending out offers was this pair of Sperry topsider Tatama, I don't know if I'm saying that right, floral espadrille slip-on shoes in a size 9.5 M. These sold for $21, which I was pretty happy with because Sperry's do not sell very high for me. They had discounted shipping on them. I had $3.92 into these because they were part of the wholesale pallet that I got from a fellow reseller, and $3.92 was my average cost of goods per sellable item from that pallet, and so my profit on those was $10.20. I'll take it. I'll take $10.20. The next thing to sell, I thought this skirt was so cute, and granted, I probably did have it priced a little too high, but it was this RSVP by Talbot's turquoise pineapple print pleated full skirt in a size 4 petite. I mean, just darling. I am allergic to pineapples, but I still think anything pineapple printed is so cute. These sold for $28 with discounted ship. I believe I had them listed for like $35. I had $4 into those from a local consignment store, and I made a profit of $15.72. Y'all know I love selling Talbots, especially when it's something this classic in terms of silhouette with like a nice quirky little print to it. Like, I mean, if that doesn't scream Talbots, I don't know what does. The next thing to sell was over on eBay, and it was this Free Planet teal short sleeve V-neck t-shirt with like a pocket on the chest in a size small for men. This sold for $9. I was not expecting that much out of a plain t-shirt, but I just went ahead and listed it because I have sold lots of just like plain t-shirts for men on, you know, all my various reselling platforms. I only had $1.02 into this as well because it was a part of the local reseller buyout, and so I made a profit of $6.19. I will take that $6.19. And then I had a Kitizen sale. It was this pair of Vans off the wall old school black and white suede skate shoes in a youth size 5. These sold for $25. I did have $4.29 into them. I don't remember where I got them. I want to say at a local thrift store. And so I made a profit of $9.69. When I came out with my video about bread and butter shoe brands and styles, I had a lot of you write in the comments that I should have added Vans to my list. However, I personally do not have that much luck with Vans. One, I think that when I find them in my area, which I often do, they are often marked up. Like, Vans are so easy to spot. Anyone who works at a Goodwill or a thrift store, you know, can figure out what Vans are. So one, they're usually marked up pretty high, which is one of the reasons why I don't pick them up. And then two, even when I do get them for pretty cheap, I just never can sell them for that much. So even though $25 is like pretty good, that's with free shipping because I do free shipping on Kitizen. So that really eats into my profit. I don't don't know. I just don't have the best luck with Vans. Let me know in the comments for you professional Vans sellers out there. What's the trick? Like, what are your tips when it comes to selling Vans for high dollar? I just don't know how to do it. And then moving on to Saturday, which was May 21st, on Poshmark, I sold another Talbot's piece. It was this pink faux wrap waist-high dress in a size extra large. This sold for $17. I kind of didn't think that this was going to sell for that much just because it's very basic. It looked like a little bit older of a piece. I picked this up a long time ago, like 2 years ago at this point, at a local consignment store when they let me come in and shop in bulk. And my average cost of goods for those trips was about 80 cents for a tire. And so I made a profit of $10.12 on that dress. A lot of like $9, $10, $11 profit sales this week. I mean, I'll take it. I will take it all day. The next thing to sell was this Victoria Harbor teal embroidered rhinestone tunic in a size extra large. This, I've never heard of this brand. I don't know that it's necessarily a very good brand. Comps were just whatever, but I got it as part of that wholesale palette, and so I just went ahead and listed it to at least make my money back, and I made my money back and then some. It sold for $17. This is with discounted shipping. I had $3.92 into it, and so my profit on that was $9.88. Do you need to run out and pick up all the Victoria Harbor that you can find in your local thrift store? No, you can leave it behind. It is not necessarily a top seller. The next thing to sell was this Hard Rock Cafe Las Vegas black Bon Jovi graphic t-shirt in a size extra large. This sold for $15 with discounted shipping. I actually picked this up at the Indianapolis Goodwill outlet when I went the last time, and I had $1.27 into that. Funny story, the last time that I went to the bins, there was this older gentleman who just like kept handing me things to sell, which I thought was really sweet, and they were all very like band tee type things, and they've all sold at this point. This was one of them. I just thought it was really cute, and that is kind of the culture of the bins. Like, yes, there are people who are literally grabbing things by the armful, not even looking to see what they have. They just take a handful of stuff and throw it in one of the many carts that their crew like have off by the walls. And there are other people who sit there and like sort through to see what they have and what can stay and what needs to go back. But then there are also people like this gentleman who they kind of get a sense of what you're looking for, and because it's different from what they're looking for, they'll hand you stuff that they think you might want to take home with you. And I just think it's so sweet. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see that kind of camaraderie in a place like the bins. You hear about people who go to the bins often befriending other people who also go to the bins often. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a cool thing. I don't live close enough to a bins to like have bins friends the way that a lot of other people do, but I do like going to the bins, and I do like it when elderly men hand me stuff to sell. The next thing to sell was over on eBay, and it was this Columbia PFG pink snap button long sleeve shirt in a size large. PFG is professional fishing gear, and this is one of the things that the brand Columbia is definitely known for. This shirt sold for $15. I had $3.92 into it because it was part of that wholesale palette, and so I made a profit of $9.57. Again, in that men's bread and butter brand video, Columbia is a brand that I did not mention, and a lot of you put in the comments that I should have because you sell it so well. I have a hard time selling it for $25 or more. This sold for $15. That's, I don't know, like $15 to $20 is usually what I get for my Columbia PFG shirts. Maybe you're getting a ton more, and if so, please tell me your secrets. But Columbia, while it will always sell, like very rarely sells for $25 or more, which is why I didn't put it on that list. But, you know, if you sell it really well, good for you, keep doing it. I typically don't pick up Columbia though for that reason. The next thing to sell was this pair of new Spanish artisan cross pearl dangly earrings. They were handmade by, I want to say, the aunt of one of my former students, and my good friend Ricardo bought these for me. You guys know about Ricardo if you've been watching my channel. He's probably watching right now. So Ricardo, hi, how are you? He is my best eBay friend. He is the one who alerted me to the fact that I had priced a pair of J. Crew factory shorts from like 8 years ago at, I want to say, $1,500. And he was like, what is so special about these? And I was like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Thank you for letting me know about this ridiculous mistake that I made. But he just likes to check in and give me feedback and advice when it comes to selling on eBay. I love him so much. Everybody needs a Ricardo friend. But he bought these as an early Christmas present, he said. He paid $14.98 for them, so I made a profit of $12.59. So Ricardo, thank you so much, and I hope you and your family and your business are all doing well. The next day of sales that we'll talk about is Sunday, which is May 22nd. I had one Poshmark sale, and it was this Intimately Free People Southwestern Bodycon mini dress in a size medium to large. It did have cutouts on the back. It sold for $20. I had $3 into it from that local consignment store where I pick up, I would say, the majority of my stuff at this point. When they had a clearance sale, I did hold on to this dress for a while though, but I did finally make my profit of $13, so I will take it. And then the last sale that we'll talk about before we talk about consigning and how much I earned from that was just an auction sale on eBay. I do have like random pieces that I will have go out to auction if I just don't feel like they're worth that much, just to kind of, I don't know, have stuff ending, hopefully get some more traffic to my store. I don't even know if it really works, but it was this Lewin Gray olive green V-neck long sleeve tunic in a size small. I had it starting at $2.99. It got the one bid, so I made a profit of $2.04 on that. Those were all of my sales for the week. However, like I shared at the beginning of this video, a couple weeks prior, I had participated in a local pop-up consignment sale. It happens twice a week in my area. I always go there to shop, and I have for the past like 4 or 5 years because it is one of my best sourcing opportunities. I get some of my best pieces at that consignment sale. I've never tried selling at it though, and the people who run the sale are always like, you always come here to shop, like you should, sell some stuff. And so I thought, I'll go through my stuff that I don't really want to list myself because they're just really not worth that much. But before I go ahead and donate them, I may as well try to make a buck or two off of them. And a lot of these things I didn't like take to somewhere like Plato's or something because they're in brands that are just too mature for Plato's. Like Plato's would never take them. So I tried it out for the first time. You can watch the video about what it was like for me to consign for this consignment sale because I show the process. I show what it was like to fill out the little cards. I tell you exactly how many items I took, how many items ended up selling, what it's like to be there, all that kind of stuff. I believe I took them over 200 pieces. I think I sold a little under 70, and I made a profit of $179.60. Not too shabby. I probably had like 3 to 4 hours into that sale when it comes to like tagging everything and driving everything over there and picking up the stuff that didn't sell that I didn't want them to donate, which is a lot of time for not that much money. But I do think that if I do decide to consign with them again, which I think I will, I think that the next time I won't have to spend as much time just because I know what to expect. I know how to do everything. It took me like 45 minutes to figure out how to use that stupid tagging gun, and then I figured it out. But that kind of stuff won't be an issue anymore. It should go much more smoothly, and hopefully I can just dedicate like an hour or two to make hopefully the same amount, if not more, now that I've also learned a little bit more about like pricing strategies and what works, what doesn't. So we'll see. But it was a pretty good experience. I made almost $200, and I like making almost $200. That feels pretty good. So on Poshmark, I sold 19 items thanks to that great Friday that I had. That was for a gross sales amount of $479. Once you factor in Poshmark's 20% fees and any discounted shipping that I may have offered, that total drops to $350.92. I had a cost of goods for those 19 items of $55.27, and so my net profit from Poshmark was $295.65. On eBay, I sold 6 items for a gross sales amount of $81.87. Once you factor in eBay's fees, that total drops to $69.51. My cost of goods for those 6 items was $8.96, and so my net profit on eBay was $60.55. On Mercari, I sold 3 items. Mercari has been going on like a steady decline for me. Let me know if that's the case for you. I feel like I saw in the List Perfectly Facebook group, someone was saying like their Mercari was on fire, and I was like, well, mine is on fire too, but like in the opposite way. Like it's slowly burning and dying, but I don't know. It's just been really rough over there. But my gross sales amount was $47. Once you factor in Mercari's fees, that total drops to $40.03. I only had $1.02 into my cost of goods because 2 out of the 3 items that I sold on Mercari were just donated to me. tell your friends what you do. Tell them that you resell so that you can potentially get free stuff to resell. And so my net profit on Mercari was $39.01. On Facebook Marketplace, I sold 2 items for a gross sales amount of $70. That total drops to $68.50 when you factor in Facebook Marketplace's very low fees. I had $19.49 as my cost of goods for those 2 items, and so my net profit on Facebook Marketplace was $49.01. On Kitizen, I had 1 sale. That was for a gross sales amount of $25. Once you factor in shipping and Kitizen's fees, that total drops to $13.98. I had $4.29 into those vans, and so I made a profit of $9.69. Like we already talked about, I made $179.60 from consigning at that consignment sale. And so the total for the week is 31 items sold, $882.47 as my gross sales amount. That means, how much I earned before you take out all of the fees, shipping, all that kind of stuff. Once you do factor in all that stuff, the shipping and the fees, that total drops to $722.54. However, we also have to factor in my cost of goods, which was $89.03. And so I made a net profit, meaning this is the amount that hit my bank account, a net profit of $633.51. Now, obviously, it's kind of a lie in that I didn't earn my consignment amount this week that we're talking about, but this is the week that I got the check, which is why I'm talking about it in this week's video. So yeah, it was still a rough week. If you guys remember from last week's What Sold video, I talked about how I had basically just come off of not listing anything for 2 weeks. So you could tell that at this time, I was still having to prove myself to all of my various reselling platforms that I was making a comeback, that I was going to be consistent and list and do all those things. And to the best of my knowledge, I do believe that I was able to do a little bit more this week than I had in weeks prior. I still wasn't maybe doing like 5 listings a day the way that I like to, but even the little that I did, it did help. It was definitely better than, the week before and the week before that. So all you can give is your best, and depending on what's going on in your life, it's going to look different. When you are being pulled in 8,000 directions and all of those things are much more important than reselling, yeah, you're not going to be able to do very much for your reselling business, and that's literally your best. And then there are times, like for me right now at this moment, because I have COVID and because I'm stuck in this room by myself, there are times when you can give so much of yourself to reselling, and that's your best, and that's awesome. But don't let yourself get down because you're not able to give as much to your business as someone else might be able to, and you're seeing their results and you're seeing their numbers. Don't get down on yourself. Everyone is only able to do what they're able to do. And with the little time that you have to invest in your reselling business, just do the best that you can. That is literally all you can do. Don't beat yourself up about it if it's not giving you the results that you want. You can't give any more than your literal best. So I want you to know that I'm proud of you, however you are doing at this moment. I want you to know that I'm rooting for you. And I want you to know that I'm really sick of having COVID. Please take care of yourselves. Protect yourselves in any way that you can from this horrible, wretched virus. It is really not fun. So with that, I will leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.